was a Yid, a Jew who partially came across some very, very, very disturbing circumstances. There were a group of Paritzim, of landowners, and anti-Semites of the highest degree. They were sitting and what were they doing? Sitting and drinking. So they kept on spitting all kind of venom and about Jews, that Jews not worth that the earth carries them. And one particular landowner said, "Oh no," he said, "I have one Jew," he said, "that's very, very fine." He said, "There's nothing he wouldn't do for me." He said, "Really?" He said, "Absolutely." He said, "I'll tell you what, you know how he respects me and how he would obey. If I would ask him to convert, to adopt Christianity, he would do it." He said, "Oh, don't be ridiculous. Now prove it." They're all sitting dead drunk, and he summons the Jew, and the Jew comes, he appears on the scene, he takes a look, he sees what's in front of him. My goodness gracious, he trembled, one tooth knocked against the other, and he says, "Moshke," that's how they call the Jews in slang. He said, "Moshke," he says, "Don't you really, aren't you a very good friend?" He says, "Yeah." Okay. He says, "Aren't you very loyal?" He says, "Yeah." Is there nothing you wouldn't do if I would ask you? He says, "Certainly." He said, "Even if I asked you to convert, to become a Gentile, wouldn't you do it?" He was standing in front of a bunch of Rotzchim murderers, drunk. And he dared not say no. So he said, "Yes." So he quickly summoned the priest. They sprinkled him with the water, and they took the 10 ruble. And he told him, "Welcome to the fold." He's a Christian. He's a goy. He had some decency, the landowner, and a couple of days later decided that's going a little too far. So he summoned the Jew. He said, "Moshke," he said, "I beg your forgiveness. My goodness, I did a horrible thing to you." He said, "How could I ask you to? That's the most detestable thing, repulsive for a Jew. That's more repulsive. A Jew to drop Christianity." He said, "Please forgive me. I want you to become a Jew again." He said, "Oh," he said, "my dear landowner," I said, "I appreciate your generosity, your good-heartedness, but please do me a favor." He said, "Passover is a very expensive holiday. It's going to be in 2 weeks. Please let me remain a Gentile till after Passover." So to be a Yid on Pesach it's a tremendous expense and takes a lot of devotion to his nefesh. And a student of the great Bach, when he left this world, he came to him in a dream. And the Bach asked him, he says to him, how are you making out in the next world? He says, "I'll tell you." He said, "There came to me one of our members of the community, a Jew, a fellow brother, one of our brethren, and he said his lease is up, and he's very concerned, the landowner. He says it might not renew the lease. There's some anti-Semite who wants to give him a higher rental for his, he owns a bar or something." He said, "That's my whole livelihood." He said, "If he doesn't lease it to me again," he said, "I'm in trouble." So he said, "You have a tremendous influence, prestige in the community. Please speak with this person, with the landowner, that they should renew the lease." He said, "I'll tell you, I have to run. I have I read a market." He said that I prepared for it for weeks, and I don't have the time now to go to him. As soon as I come back, I'll immediately approach him, and I hope I'll straighten it all out. I said, "Please, he said, don't worry about it. Zayruik." He said, "It'll be beseder, everything will be in order. As soon as he comes back, I'll write to him." He couldn't get anywhere. He went home. His wife says to him, "Moshe, how'd you make out?" He says, he said he has to leave. "You let him leave without doing anything?" Oh my goodness, she burst into tears. She was hysterical. She gave him a horrible week. My goodness, the tears that he spilled. Finally, he told us all to the Bach in his dream. He said, finally, when I came back, so I told him, "I'll go now, I'll speak to him." He went, he spoke to him. He said, yes, certainly. It's a friend of yours, a friend of mine. So he renewed the lease. He says, when I came on this world, they told me we have a reservation for you, a seat in Gan Eden. Go right up. So he goes up to Gan Eden, and there's the Malach from Gan Eden, the angel, the Shemer, the garden of Gan Eden, is standing there with the keys in his hand, and he said, I can't let you in yet. He said, what do you mean? He said, I have a reservation, I have a confirmation number. What do you mean, let me in yet? He says, we have here your deeds, a whole list. And there happened a case where someone came along, needed your help, and you did help him finally, but he had those 2 weeks until you finally came back and helped him when he and his wife went through, so you're going to have to wait here by the doors of Gan Eden. He said, look, I'm looking at Gan Eden, my goodness, you mean I can't go in yet? I have to stand here and wait? And he said, absolutely, the Malach told him, you can't go in, you'll have to make good for what those 2 weeks that couple had until you finally helped them. He said, you have to stand away. So when a person has the mitzvah comes to his hands, so you shouldn't, he'll take care of it, he'll send me a letter, you have to take care of it right away.